A lot to get into today. As I said, Katie Linendahl is going to be in here. We're going to talk about Comic-Con in a little bit. I want to talk about what happened at the UFC over the weekend, but Sam Roberts' show has found itself directly in the middle of a podcast war. Now, this broke out last Friday? A week ago Friday? Was that right? A week ago Friday. Friends of the show, I guess, they've been on a couple times now, Christina Hutchinson and Corinne Fisher from a podcast called Guys We Fucked, were in studio. And I was just, shooting the shit with them or whatever. And they told me that they had a problem with Louis J. Gomez, who's also been on the show before. And he's on a podcast called Legion of Skanks, which I've done before. Let's take a listen just as a refresher to where we were. You and Corinne do not like each other, right?
No, we don't like each other, dude. Yeah, no. This chick fucking...
What do you do? How did you know I was talking about you? Don't you have, weren't you on Last Comic Standing? Shouldn't you have a gig?
No, I have fans that tweeted at me.
I figured some idiot tweeted you.
Well, don't call... You don't have to insult the Gomites. I told her not to insult the Gomites, Louis.
By the way, Sam, you want to know why you don't know me and Corinne have a beef?
Yeah.
Because I've never mentioned Corinne's name to you.
That's true.
She's a fucking nobody. I don't think about this chick.
It just went on and on and on. So they'd come on, and I guess to Louis's point, they came on the show and brought up Louis J. Gomez and Legion of Skanks before. I didn't even know there was a feud. To be honest, I didn't know. I wish I had. I would love to take credit for it. But I didn't know there was a feud between these two shows. Apparently, there is, because Corinne came in from Guys We Fucked and said, it's a garbage podcast, and that Louis had kicked her and Christina out of a comedy club and cost him gigs and all this stuff. And then Louis called in, and his co-host Dave was on the other line, and it just turned into this ugly mess. We posted the video over at youtube.com/notsam. You can get a link to it at SR Show SXM on Twitter right now. And it just got uglier. Because on Tuesday, while I was out of town in Orlando, I was sitting in my hotel, and I was getting messages on my Twitter that Legion of Skanks, this podcast, we're talking about Guys We Fucked, all based on what went down on the show the Friday before. Not only did these guys spend an hour going through the segment from the show. They were picking apart everything Corinne said. And poor Christina. If you look at the video, it looks like Corinne has come in on fire, just ready to tear some shit up. And Christina is like, how do we get in the middle of this? How did this happen? I don't know why I'm here. I mean, I felt some sympathy for Christina. She did not bring this upon herself. Corinne did start it, as far as the show goes, in my mind. But I would love to have him back on now that all this is blown up, because not only did Legion of Skanks go on and berate the girls and berate the show and break down everything that was happening, but Louis and Dave from Legion of Skanks actually put out a video. Well, let's listen to Legion of Skanks as Guys We Fucked.
Welcome to Guys We Fucked,
the anti-slut-shaming podcast.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Corinne, and we're
sorry about last night. All we do is talk about guys we fucked, but it's super brave because we fucked them.
Yeah, we fuck all these guys, and then we bring them on the show, and we talk to them about it.
She's so funny.
That's what brave women do.
She's so brave. I know. She's my best friend, and I don't know anyone braver.
They may be trivializing the show a little bit. I'm starting to sense that there may be a little bit of trivialization going on as far as the show goes. If you want to call up Sam Roberts Show now, 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969. Because at this point, the thing went on. I could play you a little more.
Oh my God, it's so unfair that anytime a girl talks about a guy they fucked, they try to kick you off of iTunes.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, who would fucking do that? Fucking iTunes can't handle how real bitches we are, right?
And Louis and Dave, as this thing is going on, they both have dresses on. They both have wigs on. I think they were wearing a little bit of makeup. I couldn't tell for sure. They had their lollipops, like the promo photo for Guys We Fucked. And, yeah, it was a rough run. It was definitely shots fired. On the podcast I was listening to, it seemed like they weren't fully, starting a war. They were almost making a mockery of the term podcast war. They were just trying to get their point across and the fact that they felt disrespected. But then they came out with the parody video, and I'm going, guys, those are shots fired. I said on the show last Friday when this all started to happen, I'm obviously a fan of Legion of Skanks. I've had Lewis on the show before. I've done their podcast before and I had a great time. But I'm also a fan of the Guys We Fucked podcast. I've had them on the show a couple times now. The difference is I'm a bigger fan of rivalries than I am of either of those two shows. The only thing I can think of right now is getting both those podcasts on the air here on Sam Roberts Show. I feel like Lewis got his chance to say his piece. The girls got their chance to say their piece. This thing, it doesn't need to keep looming. I don't think the girls have said anything back yet. I don't think the hosts of Guys We Fucked have responded to the attack that Legions of Skanks put out. I keep saying Legions of Skanks. It's one legion of many Skanks. I don't think that has been responded to yet directly, but I do feel like we need a great debate. I don't know who you think has won so far. I feel like right now, I don't think silence is helping the ladies from the podcast Guys We Fucked. I know that the theory is if we don't talk about it, we don't acknowledge it, we be bigger than the scenario, it'll just go away. I feel like it's not going to go away because now you've got 3 different shows all kind of tied up. Plus, Legion of Skanks guys, every single one of them has their own podcast. So there's like 9 podcasts plus this show all wrapped up in this turmoil between Lewis and Corinne and Christina. So the only thing I can think of, and maybe I got to reach out. Oh, did she block us? Whoa. Why'd she block us? Paul just informed me I might have to start taking sides if that's true. What the fuck? Apparently, Corinne, who I've always treated with respect in here. Is that right, Paul? I've always treated her with respect. I gave her chance to voice something, and she decided to voice criticism for one Luis Gomez and the Legion of Skanks. That kind of blew up in her face a little bit, but that happens. That's not my fault. Corinne Fisher from Guys We Fucked has blocked the show account on Twitter. What? That's official. Corinne Fisher from Guys We Fucked blocked SR Show SXM on Twitter. What the hell for? Weird. I'm sitting here. She comes on, and she's got something that she wants to get off her chest, apparently, about these Legion of Skanks guys. I didn't even know this was happening. It's not like I had to draw it out of her. She came on, and you can watch the YouTube clip. It's not like we made it into quick little clips and edited it. We let the whole thing speak for itself. Paul did it. He did an immaculate job. We go on, and she came on the show and said some of my fellow comedians have garbage podcasts. So what's the natural follow-up question going to be for a professional broadcaster? If you walk on to a show of a professional broadcaster and you say some of the people I know have garbage podcasts, am I crazy that the follow-up question is which ones? Who are you talking about? Who did you just come on the radio and call garbage? Well, apparently that's an evil question because she blocked SR Show SXM on Twitter. Why would she block the show who's had her on twice? I've only had Luis Gomez on once. I've had the girls from Guys We Fucked on twice. Christina didn't block us, did she? I wonder if she blocked my personal Twitter. I gotta find this out. This is breaking news. Where's my fucking thing? Is it? There it is. Corinne Fisher from Guys We Fucked has blocked the SR Show SXM Twitter account from Twitter. This is ridiculous. Let me look it up. Okay. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, she has not blocked me personally. But still, the show is called Sam Roberts Show. Not only is it a reflection of me, but there's no the. There's an apostrophe because it's possessive. It's my show. And it symbolizes everything of me. The things we talk about, the opinions we take, they're all mine. It's spilling out of my brain. How dare she block that show account? I give these two a chance to come on a national radio show and plug the podcast all they want. I come on and I say it's funny. Because I did. I enjoyed the podcast. But now, maybe I just need to get Lewis in here now to really find out what's going on. As I said last week, it is insane to me that broadcasting is broken down to the point that nothing is going on radio and all these wars are happening between podcasts. Like, there's no radio shows. It used to be radio shows warring with each other, and it was cool. You'd be driving around, and your local DJs would be talking shit about the other DJs. That's cool. That's something you want to listen to. But now nobody does that anymore. And here at Sirius XM, we're all one happy family, right? Unless one of your producers wants to rub their balls on a microphone or a buttons. But we're all supposedly one big happy family. I shut him down. He hasn't opened his mouth again. But now the podcasts are where all the wars are happening, I guess. There's not that many wars, though. I don't know. I've been on podcasts with Louis J. Gomez before, and it always ends up breaking down into a fight between somebody. Some people always end up fighting with Louis. So, is he combative? Yes. Has he blocked the show on Twitter? Find out if Louis J. Gomez has blocked SR Show SXM on Twitter. I would find it hard to believe that he has. Let's click on it. No. The real ass dude, Louis J. Gomez, has not blocked me. And Christina Hutchinson has not blocked us, correct? No. Of course Christina Hutchinson has not blocked us. Because she's thinking logically. She's thinking comprehensively. She's realizing, well, all Sam did was ask us questions that we brought up in the first place and then put a clip from his radio show on YouTube. Excuse me for giving the podcast some exposure. I guess that means the Twitter account gets blocked. That is ridiculous. I go out of my way. Paul, didn't I go out of my way? Yes, he says yes. I went out of my way to make Corinne Fisher shine, I feel like. I tried. But then she came on the air. She decided to talk about Lewis and Legion of Skanks. And I'm the one who gets Twitter blocked? Oh, boy. This is not going to go well. She's handling this all wrong, Paul. The idea is that you would come on, you'd realize that, yes, I'm friends with both of you, okay? I like both shows. I like both people. I'm going to let you get your word out there, okay? Lewis is going to be able to get his word out there. Everybody's going to be able to commingle, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. I could have been a great mediator. I could have been not only a professional broadcaster, but the first ever podcast mediator. But instead, my show gets Twitter blocked by Corinne from Guys We Fucked. Unbelievable. 866-969-1969. If you want to call the show, we're live here on Opie Radio as we are every day starting at 12 p.m. Eastern. 866-969-1969. We're in the new studio. So the phones have been a little weird today. But it looks like you think now we're good? All right. So call up now and we can find out. Yeah, I know. There's one person on the phone right now. That's why I think it. Let's find out what her opinion on this whole thing is. You there, Lady Di? Why is it coming through on speaker? Oh, there it is. You there, Lady Di? See, the phones are a little weird in here. Let me put it back on hold. You answer those phones. And I'm going to put this. Oh, no, they're connected. We can't do this, Paul. If she picks up the phone. Oh, my God, this is a disaster. If you see, we're both controlling the same thing. Okay, all right, you switched it? Well, unfortunately, I hung up on Lady Di. I think people are okay with that. You think this is her? Hey, you there? Can you hear me? If you're on the phone, say hello. Whatever. I can't deal with this.